What if your mornings could be inspiring and ridiculously fun?
Kindness Rising isn't just a show, it's a full wake-up vibe.
It's freaking fun, people.
Yeah, man, it's got real get after it energy.
I love it.
Wake up with Kindness Rising.
I help purpose-driven people grow their impact. 5-ingredient recipe to help you build your personal brand. Get out there and take kind action.
If it's live, they'll feel it.
On Kindness Rising, we bring you proven strategies and fresh ideas you can actually use. If you're not failing, you're not trying.
Exactly. Fail fast, rebound faster.
You'll see the bloopers and the genuine connections that make kindness contagious. We sometimes get into a little bit of trouble.
Pretty much my life made the list.
You can trust what you see right here is honest, respectful, and uplifting. Social impact organizations, and we always talk about them. Try kindness. It's way cheaper than therapy. You just made my day. Okay, good morning, friends. I hope everyone is having a great Friday. Welcome into Kindness Rising. I'm Matt Rouff, the Uncommon Kindness Guy, and I come here every weekday morning, Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, to bring you a little hope, humor, and humanity. I'm glad that you have come in to join us. Get involved in the comments, and welcome to our Fandom Friday. And today we're closing out our midlife pivot week with a salute to one of the great philosophers of Generation X. I'm talking about Ferris Bueller, the kid who taught us that life moves pretty fast, and if you don't stop and look around once in a while, you just might miss it. Because somewhere between carpools and conference calls, a lot of us forgot how to take the day. So today, let's borrow a page from Ferris. Rebellion optional, wisdom guaranteed.
You think Ferris Bueller ever had to file expense reports?
Nope. He just went live before it was cool.
See? Even Reggie's taking the day.
Yep, he's the napping king of Chicago, all right. Life moves pretty fast. But first we watch Kindness Rising, then we nap.
You know what? Ferris didn't just skip school. He mastered perspective. He understood that the world doesn't stop when you take a day off. It actually starts to make sense again. Are you taking a day off today? Get involved in the comments. Welcome to Kindness Rising. I'm Matt Rouff, the Uncommon Kindness Guy, and I am so glad you're here. Subscribe to the channel. Get involved here at the Mornings in the Lab Network. Elise Tanner, welcome in. I am so glad you are here. Are you excited about the Ferris Bueller Day? Gigi McSwain and Chris, Mike Sullivan, the whole crew is here. Mike, welcome in from the West Coast. Thanks for joining me here every day. Elise and Gigi, subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to Kindness Rising, your morning dose of hope, humanity, humor, and heart. We are getting up and getting after it today with our Ferris Bueller Fandom Day. You know, like I said, he didn't just skip school. He understood that the world doesn't stop when you take a day off. It actually starts to make sense again. We've been taught that slowing down means falling behind. But what if the real leaders are the ones who make space for themselves and for others? If you manage a team, a family, or even your own schedule, kindness means giving people permission to rest. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm very excited for today because we finally got a moment of alignment where my spouse is taking the day off of work today, and we are going to go have a day together, a little surprise day. We're going to go check out a historical site here in upstate New York. We've always been curious about it. We're going to go to the Newtown battlefield. So we'll find out about what happened there during the Revolutionary War right here in my area. And then we're going to just go have a nice day in downtown Corning, New York. You ever hear recording? That's where we'll be. If you want to see me, come visit me on Market Street. I'll be walking up and down. I don't know what I'll be doing, but that's what we're doing today because we took the day off. We're taking the day and we're going to go have a little bit of time together because taking care of humans who keep the things running in your life, that is a great act of kindness. And it's really important that you're also kind to the person in the mirror. I'm not talking about big vacations. I mean, small Ferris Bueller kind of days. A Wednesday off when the kids are home from school, a random Friday lunch with your partner, or an afternoon walking the dog instead of doom scrolling. Elise, thanks for subbing up. Gigi, thanks for the sub. I appreciate you. Join us every day, Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m., starting right here at Kindness Rising. And then we get on over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends, where they are going to bring a little bit of your morning chaos to help you not hit the snooze button. Remember, kindness in leadership isn't about endless giving. It's about making sure you and the people around you have enough left to give tomorrow. So take the day, do some stuff, and keep it simple. The world won't fall apart if you rest, but you just might start to piece yourself back together. Let's see how Cal and Stan feel about Ferris Bueller.
You called in sick again?
It's not sick, it's self-care.
You've been self-caring since Tuesday.
Ferris says sometimes recovery means pretending you're fine until you are.
There you go. And here we go. We always talk about on Fandom Friday, we're talking about Ferris Bueller. Today, if you were impacted by Ferris Bueller, tell me about your best memory of Ferris Bueller. I've watched the movie so many freaking times. My favorite, and it was something we repeat within our friend group, is the scene where Ed Rooney is talking to Ferris's mother about attendance, and he goes, 9 times. We say 9 times, just repeatedly out of ridiculousness because of that movie. Can we have an R&R, right, Mom? My mother is out there in the horizontal. Roseanne Roof, thank you for joining me. And absolutely, R&R days, rest and relaxation days. We would have them occasionally. I will tell you, I forgot where I was talking about perfection. And around here, the perfect attendance thing at school for kids. I think that's a terrible, terrible lesson for kids. I have seen kids who have gone for that award go to school when they should not have been at school. Everybody needs a day to rest and relax and watch cartoons, and sometimes we would do that. Also, Mom, I'm getting ready for onion snow. Onion snow is another thing we talk about in my family. A little lesson. It's that first snow of the year when the farmers plant the onions. That's when you're supposed to plant the onions. That's what I was taught. Mom, you can tell me where that came from or if it's real, but it also meant making homemade pizza at our house. Onion snow and homemade pizza. Forget about it. Great times. Good memories, Mom. Thanks for an awesome life. So we're talking about Fandom Friday. Ferris Bueller this day off, and here's some surprising lessons from behind the scenes at Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Each one can teach us a little bit about living, leading, and remembering to look around once in a while. You guys remember the parade? The parade scene was huge. Obviously, him getting up on that float and doing twist and shout. Well, guess what? That was a real Chicago parade. John Hughes arranged to crash that parade. That was really happening. Ferris jumped on the float, hit play, and captured the crowd's genuine reaction. And the lesson from that is sometimes the best moments in life aren't planned. They're participated in. You don't need permission to bring joy into the room. That's just what Ferris did for us. Here is another lesson from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. unlike most movies that, if you know anything about movies, they're shot all over the place based on the convenience of the actor's schedule and where things are and the weather and blah, 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 blah. That film was actually shot in chronological order. John Hughes wanted to see the characters open up throughout their day. So whatever time of day it was when the shooting was going on. When Cameron was waking up in the morning, it was the morning. When things were happening at night, it was the nighttime. Lunchtime in Chicago, all that stuff. You can actually see the characters loosen up as they go, discovering themselves in real time. And that lesson is that growth just doesn't happen on cue. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to keep showing up for the next scene. And thank you for showing up here on Kindness Rising with us. Here's another little tidbit about Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Cameron's breakdown, the one where he starts hammering on the car, just kicking away at it. That car goes, a Ferrari, right? It was a Ferrari. Goes, so, I don't remember, flying out the window. Bad news, right? Alan Ruck, the star, he actually was encouraged by John Hughes to really let it happen. He has actually talked about the scene leading up. He knew it was going to be, so he actually got into some method acting, worked himself up into a real froth, and that was pretty intense and emotional scene. But what it means is that anger isn't the opposite of kindness. Sometimes it's the doorway to clarity. He went off, he went crazy, and he said, okay, now we're going to have to deal with it. What you feel isn't wrong, but what you do with it matters. Frank Seeds, welcome to Kindness Rising. I appreciate that you are here. I appreciate that you follow my channel. Absolutely. Here on Kindness Rising and at Mornings in the Lab, where we're building a network of morning shows so that all people of all kinds who like all different kinds of things can come in. But I like to get up in the morning with a little bit of positivity and a little bit of kindness and growth and reminders of how we're going to get up and attack this day. So thanks, Frank. Appreciate that you come here. Thanks for getting involved in the comments. Say hello to Roseanne Roof. That's my mom. She comes here every day too. All right. All right. Excuse me. What else can we tell you about Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Oh, here's an interesting one. One of the most famous movies of all time, at least amongst my generation, Gen X. It's one of the biggest movies. I don't think I know a person, certainly within my age category, who hasn't seen it maybe a million times, or doesn't understand the references, because they're just such a part of our culture. So many things. That movie, John Hughes wrote it in less than a week. That entire movie, he wanted to capture the feeling of a day off in high school before adulthood could rationalize it away. And the lesson there is that sometimes creativity, it doesn't need time. It just needs truth. When the idea hits, you go with it. They come when you stop editing yourself, and they come when they come. So take advantage of those ideas and act on them. Don't let them just sit around and ruminate in your brain, right? So that's a little bit more about Ferris Bueller's Day Off here on a Fandom Friday.
If you like honesty with a side of chaos, hit subscribe!
It's the closest thing we've got to career stability.
Come on and subscribe to Kindness Rising, where we get up and get after it every morning with a little bit of positivity, hope, humanity, humor, and heart. And coffee. Coffee helps too. There it is. Lovely day. Lovely day. Here on Kindness Rising, we always talk about good people who are doing good work, because that is our mission, to multiply kindness and unlock growth for those people. And we talk about organizations that are leaning into the subject. This was a little bit harder to find the type of subjects, but here's what I came up with. Ferris Bueller's Day Off wasn't a rebellion, it was a revelation. And there are real world movements happening today that are turning the same truth into their mission. Here's one, an interesting one. The Nap Ministry, founded by Tricia Hersey. It's built on one radical idea that rest is a human right. Exhaustion isn't noble, it's exploitation. We need to rest to reclaim our control of our time, our attention, and our humanity. It doesn't just tell you to quit your job or ignore your responsibilities, but they do remind you that your worth isn't tied to your output. And sometimes the most productive thing you can do is take a nap without guilt. Welcome to Kindness Rising. I appreciate that you are all out there. Today is a Fandom Friday. We are weaving Ferris Bueller's Day Off into our entire conversation here at Kindness Rising. I'm glad that you have chosen to join me here. 757 Land, welcome to Kindness Rising. I appreciate you. Subscribe to the channel. Have a little fun with us here at the Mornings in the Lab Network and at Kindness Rising live every weekday morning, 7:30 a.m. Here's another, oh, geez. Wow. Hello. Here's another organization that is leaning into our subject matter. It's called the 4-Day Workweek Global. A little bit of a controversial subject, I think, but maybe I'd be interested in your thoughts on the idea of the 4-Day Workweek. This organization is helping companies all over the world test a 4-day work week. And they say it's working. Productivity goes up, burnout goes down, and people have more time to care for their families, their communities, and themselves. Ferris took one day off and came back more alive. Imagine what would happen if more workplaces built that into their system. Both of these organizations remind us that progress isn't speed, it's sustainability, intention. That caring for people isn't soft leadership, it's smart leadership. Because when we rest, we remember who we are, and when we give permission to rest, we remember what we are here for. Let's see if Mr. Reggie is in the Ferris Bueller mode today.
Reggie's been on Cal and Stan patrol all morning.
Something is up with those two, but they can't outsmart the cat.
Somewhere, Principal Ed Rooney feels seen.
There we go. Reggie is channeling his inner Rooney. He was one of my favorite characters from that movie. I know the guy, I think in real life, was kind of a creep. If I remember correctly, I think he got busted there during the Me Too movement, and I think he's dead now, but that's a whole other story. All right. There's no need for more than 3.5 days, says Josh Rolu. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but I think you're probably right. I mean, I've looked around and seen a lot of people. What I just, as a leader, I trust my people to get their work done. We are on a team, and if I'm doing my job the right way, whether they work 3.5 days, 10 days, 8 days, whatever, if the work gets done, the output's there, the outcome's there, they're following process, and they're leading with hope and humanity and heart like we do here. I've never really been a big person on that. It's at least at a certain level, you get to a point where you just trust your people, and that's how the work gets done, and that's how the job gets done, and people trust you, and you get your job done, and that's how a team is built. So the 4-day work week, I mean, that's pretty, it's linked obviously to industrial times. I worked in healthcare. We were all shift driven hundreds, thousands of people who work a shift. So I think it's worth having the conversation about. Absolutely. But like I said, that's my position on it is we are professionals, we are adults. If I hired you to do a job, I trust you to get the job done, and I support you in getting it done. And if you're not getting it done, then we'll have a different conversation. But that's the way I look at that. Interesting little tidbit. All right. Thank you so much, everyone who has joined Kindness Rising this morning, getting involved in the comments, having a great day, rolling out of a Friday here on our Fandom Friday with Ferris Bueller Fandom Friday. It's good coffee this morning. I'm very excited. All right. I kind of went off and I wrote so much content for today that I just don't know. Hey, Derpy Warrior, what's up, dude? Really what? Welcome in to Kindness Rising. I am glad that you are here, that you've chosen to spend some time with us. Check it out. Ferris Bueller is our subject today as we roll through our Fandom Friday. All right. We're having a good time. What's my issue? Nothing. What's your issue, buddy? You got issues? I got no issues. I'm doing great today. I'm getting up and getting after it. Thanks for joining Derpy Warrior. All right. Here's the thing. We're going to roll right into a little discussion here about going live and what it means to go live when people show up in your feed. I'm putting thoughts in your head, Derpy. Well, that's what I do. I'm putting those thoughts in your head. To take the day off, maybe? I don't know. All right. So let's talk about branding, and let's talk about going live a little bit. I appreciate everyone that's out there. When you think about it, Ferris Bueller actually went live before the rest of us even figured out how. He looked straight into the camera. He talked to his audience and owned the moment. He didn't wait for perfect lighting or a content calendar. He just turned the world to the world and said, here I am. Ferris wasn't performing. He was connecting. That's the magic of live presence. And it's the same spirit that we've built right here behind Mornings in the Lab Network. Every day, real people, myself, Keith Billis, John Anderson, Christopher Martin, and a host of others, creators, leaders, thinkers are going live to share ideas, stories, and kindness in real time right here on the Mornings in the Lab Live Network. No filters, no edits, authenticity, authority, and a growing community that shows up for each other. Will you join? In a world drowning in algorithms and AI noise, your real-time voice is your leadership proof. When you go live, you're not just chasing trends, you're building trust. You're saying, I'm not hiding behind a brand. I am the brand. Ferris Bueller didn't wait to be discovered. He showed up and led the parade, and you can too. So if you've been waiting to build your brand, your audience, or your confidence, stop waiting. Join us right here in Mornings in the Lab. We'll handle the tech, the setup, the streaming. You just bring your voice, because the world doesn't need another shallow influencer. It needs deep influence. And that's what you can do by going live. It starts at that very moment you decide to hit that go live button. Reach out to me. I'm Matt Rouff, the Uncommon Kindness Guy. I will be glad to help you figure out how to go live and bring your voice to the world. And you might even find yourself meeting new characters like Sensei Whiskers.
How could Ferris just jump into a parade like that?
Because joy doesn't ask permission.
So we should all crash parades?
No, but stop waiting for invitations to happiness.
There you go. Sensei wants us to stop waiting for those invitations to happiness. Just get out there and do it. And here are 5 ways to take the day, your kindness compass for reclaiming joy. First, schedule your play. If you don't plan fun, it just won't happen. Second, take a micro rest. 2 minutes of breathing. That beats 2 hours of burned out work. And be spontaneous. Say yes to something unplanned. Just go for it. Next, you want to reclaim your wonder. Notice those small miracles, the sunsets, your pets, the laughter. That is a way to take the day. And last, detach from metrics. Not everything you love has to be counted, measured. Yes, you want to keep an eye on things depending on what you're doing and picking the right things to measure and count. But it's not just about the metrics. Bring your purpose, bring your joy to life. The metrics will come. Thanks for joining here on Kindness Rising. I'm Matt Rouff, the Uncommon Kindness Guy, and I come here every Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, to get you up a little bit, get going on your mornings as part of Mornings in the Lab Network. And here's my last little tidbit of input on taking the day. We're talking about Ferris Bueller's day off and why it's important to take a day off once in a while and how to do it. And here's a thing that I want to talk about, which is when you're in that mode of work, and then you take a day off, it's really hard. It's hard to switch gears like that. Your brain is going on things. But I encourage you. I know I have had to focus on it too, on being present in those moments. So if you're going to do it, actually do it. Don't spend the whole time thinking about emails you're not answering or the laundry you're not folding, your to-do list, whatever. Hundreds of things are going to be waiting for you. And they're still going to be waiting for you if you take that day off because your body is resting, but your mind is still at work. You didn't take a day off. You're not just taking a day off. You're relocating your stress. You're moving it on to something else, giving it a moment. Ferris didn't take his day off worrying about his homework. He was in it. He was in the parade. He was in the music. He was at the baseball game. The joy of being fully present. He didn't time it perfectly or plan it out. He just showed up to the moment that was already happening. And I think that's the real challenge for all of us. When we finally carve out a rare day, the one we've been waiting for, our brains are going to try to fill it with everything that we're not doing. But here's the thing, the to-do list will still be there when you get back. The world will keep spinning and nothing you've built will fall apart just because you pause to notice it. So when you take the day, take it fully. Don't check the clock. Don't check the inbox. Don't check out emotionally. Check in, just like Ferris did on his day off.
You ever stare at a painting so long it starts judging you back?
Yeah, this one just reminded me of my unfinished to-do list.
Art is wasted on the anxious.
Art doesn't cure anxiety. It just gives it somewhere safe to rest for a minute.
All right. Feeling a little anxiety about that to-do list? Maybe check out some art. It might help you to calm down and forget things for a minute. We're going to go to a battlefield today, maybe check out a museum or something like that. And that's the way I'm going to do it today. Thank you for joining me here on this Fandom Friday about Ferris Bueller. I'm so excited for you all and we all to get on over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends, where they're going to be talking about the faux pas that we probably have all made. I know I've made it and been on the receiving end of it. The accidental reply all. That should be an interesting conversation. Thanks for joining all week long this week during our midlife pivot week. I'll be back on Monday morning, 7:30 a.m. here on Kindness Rising. Here's the thread for the week. Midlife doesn't mean mid-spirit. The art of taking the day is really the art of taking yourself seriously as someone worth joy and time. When you stop long enough to feel alive again, you don't fall behind. You catch up to yourself. So now get on over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends on the Mornings in the Lab Network. I'm Matt Rouff, the Uncommon Kindness Guy. And as we always say here on Kindness Rising, stay uncommon and stay kind.
Okay, Matt, we got the memo about the Kindness Rising promo, but what exactly are we promising people?
And is there craft services? Hey, I need snacks too.
Gentlemen, focus. Kindness Rising multiplies kindness and helps people get up on the right side of the bed.
So wait, we're not doing another angry headline show.
Exactly. We rise above the negative, divisive noise.
Translation, less rage bait, more high fives for humanity. And this is live, like actually live.
Yep. We go live on YouTube and LinkedIn, 7:30 a.m. Eastern every weekday.
Wait, if it's live, what if I forget my lines?
Then you improvise.
Okay, so our tagline is basically wake up, tune in, and start your day with kindness.
Exactly. Kindness Rising. Good vibes, practical tips, and a reason to get up on the right side of the bed.
You heard the boss. Subscribe now before he makes us do a TikTok dance.
Kindness Rising. Wake up, tune in, and let's make some good noise.